If you really want to change the way you think, it's not about one big action or a magic trick. It's about a combination of small, daily habits that compound over time. It took years for your brain to get to this point. Your environment, school, and the people around you have all shaped your thoughts. So to change that, your brain won't just respond to a new thought once. You need to challenge it with fresh stimulation, because neurons that fire together, wire together. The more you repeat a new pattern, the stronger that connection becomes, making it easier for you to think better. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 easy habits I've used myself that would help you rewire your brain and upgrade your mindset. The first habit you can start today is to read daily. I know life gets busy, but even just a little effort before bed can make a huge difference. Put your phone away, stop scrolling, and read a book. Even just one page or for 15 minutes. And look, I know it might feel boring at first, but while you sleep, crazy things are happening in your brain. It doesn't just shut off overnight. It goes into memory consolidation mode, like a night shift librarian, sorting through every thought, feeling, and experience from your day and moving it into long-term memory, so the things you've actually learned really stick. Have you ever read something inspiring or deep right before bed, and then noticed it showing up in your dreams? That's your brain at work, processing, connecting the dots while you rest, because you gave your brain high-quality raw material to work overnight. So choose to read a page or a few pages of non-fiction book before you sleep, whether it's finances, psychology, or nutrition, so your brain can mull it all night. It starts connecting your old knowledge with these new ideas, building a smarter version of you. Think of it like a system to update your brain while you sleep. Your brain deletes the temp files that don't matter anymore, making room to prioritize the new, high-quality ideas you just learned. Over time, these small, consistent reading habits reshape the way you think. You start noticing patterns, seeing solutions faster, and even reacting to situations in a calmer, smarter way. The second habit you can implement is journaling. Look, during the day, your brain is involved in so many different processes. It's so easy for your thoughts to get trapped in your head until everything becomes a mess. It's like having a giant pile of dirty clothes that needs to be sorted before you can even start the laundry. Your thoughts are exactly the same. Think of journaling as a brain dump. When you put pen to paper, or even just type into your phone how you feel, you are extracting those thoughts, so your brain finally has a chance to organize them. So maybe a colleague made you angry, or maybe you felt scared during the day. When you write it down, you create a distance between your thoughts and your emotions. You become an observer of what's happening in your brain from the outside. When you bottle things up, you don't even notice what's happening in your brain, as it's too cluttered. But when you write it up, you turn that clutter into a mental map. It can help you break down heavy feelings or scary problems into small steps you can analyze in detail until your brain starts to see a way to fix them. I started doing this during therapy, and it changed everything for me. It allowed me to notice my negative thoughts when I was stressed or scared, and I could see exactly how I was reacting. Over time, I started to see the big patterns I was following without even knowing it. So I dare you to try it yourself. It doesn't have to be a fancy notebook. Actually, you probably won't even bother to grab one most days. You can just do this on your phone. Next time you're commuting after work, spend 5 minutes writing down what made you angry today, or how you wish you had responded to a situation. If you do this consistently for a few weeks, you'll start to see the patterns in how you see yourself, how you see others, and how you respond to the world. The next habit is to alter your routines here and there. Every decision you make requires mental effort, so your brain is always looking for shortcuts to save energy. When you repeat the same things every day, they become automatic. You follow the same predictable paths you've walked 1,000 times, like grabbing that takeaway on the way home or reaching for a cigarette the second you wake up. That is System 1 thinking, which is automatic and effortless because it requires almost zero energy. But when you change your routine, you disrupt those existing connections in the brain, the ones that link a specific cue, like walking past that fast food restaurant place, to your habit. That's why when you alter your routines to new ones, like changing your route back home, your brain hasn't established those links yet. It has to work harder. This forces you to shift from automatic behavior to System 2 thinking. It's that conscious and deliberate thinking, because your brain actually has to navigate a new experience. I once changed where I buy my groceries to a higher-end shop. It sounds small, but it opened my mind to budget better because I wanted to shop in that new environment and try different foods. So remember, every time you change your surroundings or build a new routine, you're creating new memories and new associations. So I challenge you to change one small routine today. Take a different way home, try a new cafe, and just observe how your brain responds to a new environment. The fourth habit to implement is to change how you interpret life situations. It's called cognitive reframing. Look, you can't take everything your brain says as the truth. We all have thinking distortions, those faulty beliefs about ourselves or the world that make us interpret things much worse than they really are. One of the best things you can do for your mental health is to stop believing every single thought that pops into your head. Instead, start looking for alternatives and question your first reaction. For example, if someone makes you uncomfortable because they refuse to do you a favor, your brain might instantly think, they probably hate me. But before you jump to conclusions, ask yourself, how do I actually know that? Maybe your friend couldn't help you because they had other responsibilities, bills to pay, or their own problems to deal with. And that has nothing to do with you as a person. The same goes for how you think about yourself. If you fail at something and your brain instantly starts thinking, I'm such a loser, don't accept that as truth. Pause and ask yourself, how do I actually know this? And then reframe this using that small word yet. I don't know how to do this yet, so I'm going to find a way to learn. When you reframe difficult situations, you're teaching your brain alternative explanations and solutions to your problems. The final habit is one of the most powerful tools in positive psychology. It's called 3 Little Things Gratitude Practice. I used to think gratitude was just about being polite to the universe, but it's actually evidence-based. It rewires your neural pathways in the brain. When you consciously focus on what you're grateful for, it activates the release of feel-good chemicals in your brain that make you feel genuinely happy and satisfied. Think of it this way. Gratitude helps you see the world through a positive lens. You start to scan for the good things happening in your life until that becomes your default thinking. You might notice that maybe your life can be hectic and stressful sometimes, which is absolutely normal, but there are also great things to be grateful for too. You can start practicing 3 little things today. Every day, just think of 3 small things that happened. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be a great cup of coffee, a laugh with a friend, or just a quiet moment of peace. If you do this consistently, you'll be surprised at how your brain starts to shift. You stop looking for what's missing and start seeing how much you already have. So those are the 5 specific habits you can implement to change how you think. And just to recap, when you start practicing these small habits consistently, you'll really notice a shift in how you see yourself, how you view others, and how you interpret problems. I dare you to try this. Let me know in the comments which of these habits you might already practice. And if you want to improve, hit subscribe to become the next Healthy Mind CEO. See you in the next video.